Previously on Ballz.
Who else we got here? Ballz, Clive Rice is in studio. Oh, there you are. How's it, Clive? Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to Ballz Visual Radio.
It's great to be here.
You arrived at the right time.
Perfect. Nice to see the small office that you've got, and it's certainly concentrated.
Absolutely. I know. We're very happy. Yeah, it's a nice, but I just you arrived at the right time, because if you'd been here an hour earlier, you probably would have left.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Never mind. Don't talk, Clive.
Don't. Craig says he's proud to say he once played golf with you, Clive. Craig Heffer.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I hope we played well when we did play on that day.
He just said hashtag names dropping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sport Billy is going to be here a little later with Follow the Bounce and Front Row Grunt on our blogs feature. And he says, talking about the lack of opinion in sports commentary. Is that the subject today?
Yes, it is.
Do we have to now start having a go at sports commentators?
We're not going to have a go at them. It's just we're commenting on a situation that I think many South Africans would agree with at the moment.
I don't really have an opinion on that subject.
Well, you don't have to. The bloggers do. And you wouldn't, of course. What do you think, Clive?
No, I think that's quite right. The bloggers are right, because a few years ago the commentators were called in, certainly by SA Cricket, and told they could not criticise the players, the game, or the officials. So when they say that there's not enough comment made, that's the reason why. And you just wonder whether in rugby that's a similar situation, so that you don't upset the apple cart. But certainly in that thing that SA Cricket did, Jeffrey Boycott was there, and he told them where to get off pretty quick. He said, "I'll call it as I see it."
Did you, Boyks?
Yeah, I did. It's dead right, Clive. And then they told me where to get off pretty quick, and I was on the next plane home, back to Pearl Valley.
Vernon, by the way, John Smith is not at a strip club. Happy Valley is a race course.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a race course. That's where they do all the big racing in Hong Kong. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for your interest, Vernon. There's an interesting question. We asked Clive the question that's been sort of trending this afternoon on our Ballz Twitter.
About male spooning.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll ask him.
So, have you ever been in a situation where on tour, Clive, you guys obviously all shared rooms? Yeah. No, don't worry. That's not that.
No. I've never had to. We've had separate.
You never had to share a bed with anyone.
No, never.
But if there was anyone that you had to pick, someone that you had to know, only one bed and you had to share it with, who would it be? Out of all the cricketers in the world that you have actually toured with.
I'd have to have a check at the female cricketers that exist, but certainly not the male guys.
It's got to be same gender. That's the question that's been going around.
So, for example,
Twitter.
I said Hugh Bladen. I'd like to spoon Hugh Bladen. Darren wants to spoon Jean-Andre Kruger.
I did not. I said Tiger Woods.
And John wants to spoon a pilot or a cardiologist.
No, he has. John actually slept with a heart surgeon.
Yeah.
But Clive, would you, under the circumstances, if you got to your room and you discovered you'd been at a big rugby match and you'd got back early in the hours of the morning and you discovered there's a small
you
bed.
would get into bed with someone if he was drunk?
No, I don't know. But we were tired. We were tired, and I slept with a head to toe. You know, that sort of thing.
If Kepler Vessels,
you have to be suffering from a heart attack to do that with a heart surgeon.
I'm serious.
So if Kepler said,
I don't think Kepler would be your top of the list. I doubt very much.
I'd sleep on the floor rather than the bed.
Okay, well.
Clive Rice is with us. Don't worry, we're not talking about that this afternoon, Clive. We're actually going to find out. You've got some big golf thing against you tomorrow.
Yes, there's the golf day for MES, which is a charity that's been going for 25 years, and they're based in Hillbrow, and it's for the people that are really struggling in terms of the housing, where they've got no money, and all sorts of things like that. So they've been doing that for 25 years, and now they've actually extended it to Cape Town and Port Elizabeth, where they're helping people that are struggling like that.
All right, we'll get the detail in a short while. You happy to stick around for a little while, though?
Yeah, no, it's
cool. Not in a rush.
I've just got the Sports Trust dinner this evening in Pretoria.
No, we won't keep you too long.
No, it doesn't matter.
5 o'clock.
It'd be nice if Clive could hang around for Blogz.
Well, it depends what the subject is. It's about commentators, if that's what it is. Bounce has arrived here in studio with us, so he'll be joining us after 5, so Clive can join the fray as well. And it'd be interesting to find out about, obviously, some big cricket coming up. We just spoke to Vernon Philander a little earlier on. And maybe one you can think about, because I was asking him, I was thinking, he brings a different dimension to the South African cricket team because, as I say, it's not part of a four-pronged pace attack. He bowls at a nice steady little high 120s, low 130s. I was trying to think about other cricketers that brought that dimension to South African cricket. So maybe you can give that one a bit of thought for now. What kind of music do you like, Clive?
Oh, the 60s, 70s, 80s, all that.
You're gonna love this show.
What do you mean? What is your favorite song of all time?
I suppose, I like the Bee Gees. I think that's
Don't hold your breath about seeing them in concert anymore.
No, we won't. There's only one of them, but for
Yeah.
the rest, there's no backing.
Yeah. You'll have to get Barbara Streisand out again if he wants to do anything. Yeah. So which Bee Gees song? The 70s stuff?
Yeah. That all those.
All those, the slow stuff or the dancing stuff?
Get the rock and roll stuff going.
Darren's frantically looking for a BG song.
No, we've got lots of Bee
Huey
Gees.
Lewis and the
That's
News.
cool.
Did you like them?
He's trying to haul it up there.
They hardly did rock and roll, Clive. Bee Gees.
No,
Ballads.
the ballads they did, all of them were any of them. You can put any of them up.
You want the ballads,
Yeah.
not the disco stuff.
Staying Alive?
Yeah, Staying Alive. Put that on. That's
not a
that'll keep
ballad.
Stop doing this to Clive. Just play this.
You can play what you want.
Clive wants to get into a romantic mood. Just stay away from John because he's
How
in a
deep is your
dangerous
love?
mood today.
Teabag.
No, it's not. It's too much heaven, Chop. There it is, the Bee Gees classic on Ballz Visual Radio. More from Clive next. All right, so that is bikini weather for today. One of our popular features here on the show, Clive. I don't know why.
You know what? When you get them on bikinis and you got chefs in bikinis,
Yes.
that restaurant would be the most popular in the world.
Here's a new thing we
That's a
should
good
do.
thing.
Chefs with a Z.
Yo, Master Chef.
Yeah.
Yo, Master Chef.
Yeah.
Yes. Every Friday.
Next week, look out for it here on the show. So, are you still doing the fax to email thing?
You do the fax to email.
Wow, that must be doing very well for you. You've been doing it for a while now.
That's it does. It's quite a solid sort of performance as to what it does. But we're also doing hosted PABXs. We've developed a cashless payment solution, and we now save on international mobile calls and international data, and those savings are between 40 and 90% on that. So it's quite exciting stuff.
Awesome. Where do people find you? What business is it?
Clive at cliverice.co.za is my
Easy one to remember.
It is.
Clive at cliverice.co.za if you want to find out more about that and give Clive a call. You can also speak to one of our cricketing legends. Exciting year coming up. We spoke to Vernon Philander a little earlier on and we said he's chomping at the bit for him to go and bowl on those tracks with his current average of 14, 51 wickets in 7 tests. I said to him, I can imagine at the end of the year he's probably going to have an average of 12 if he carries on bowling like that, especially on those English tracks, and then we've got the Aussies later.
You know, when you just see how he bowls, that's how Sean Pollock used to bowl. Richard Hadley, Kapil Dev, Courtney Walsh, all those guys bowled in the right area, asking questions every single ball. That's why they're the big wicket takers, and Philander will be a big wicket taker. But I think what he's done as well is the other guys in the side know, hang on, here's the main wicket taker. They've got to pull their fingers out and make sure they get they in contention as well. And getting wickets.
Yeah.
So it's a great side now.
Well, we said to him just before we wrapped up as well that he targets 5-6 wickets in innings. I said, well, if you've got Morne who's hungry for wickets at the other end, and you've got Dale waiting to bowl as well, he's also wants to get some wickets. He's got an average of around about low 20s. He's taking regular wickets as well. You look forward to us playing against these guys.
I think this is going to be a very exciting tour, and it's the first time I think the side is capable of really giving the Poms a smack since Hansie Cronje was the captain, because also Martian de Lange is in the background, and his debut getting 8 wickets and then he gets dropped. You say, hang on, the standards are high, and anybody is out of form in the bowling lineup. De Lange is there, ready to take over, and I think that's great for the side. There's competition for places. And that team will do well in England.
Yeah, it's a very good-looking side. You mentioned Courtney Walsh. Of course, he was, as you say, also got in the right areas, but probably at about 20 k's an hour quicker.
Doesn't matter. Just get it in the right area. And Philander just gets the ball to swing a little bit, and there's a bit of movement. And certainly on the English pitches, there might be a little bit of seam as well.
Yeah.
and he's going to ask questions big time.
Yeah, and I was specifically talking about the bowlers that bowl at like a high 120s, low 130s. That's where I was trying to think about who the guys we've had, because it is a new dimension in the side. Because people are going, oh, he's not getting it up. When Sean finished his career, he was bowling around about the high 120s. But that was it. It was all about putting it in the right areas, getting that line and length right, and not necessarily about the pace.
You know what? If you get it in the right area, and you're asking the batsman, do you go forward, do you go back, do you play it, do you leave it? He's got some decisions to make, and there's not much time to do it. And if there's a little bit of movement there, you don't need much to get the edge of that bat, and that's what he does.
You're being a bit modest, because I'd put you in that category as well in your heyday, although every now and again, I mean, you used to bowl it maybe deceptively quicker, but you used to sort of bowl at a pace, and then suddenly you'd have that one that would come through at about 10 k's an hour quicker and surprise the batsman.
I bend my back a bit there. But no, you'd get it up round their throats, and if you could get a variation in pace, bowling with Sir Richard Hadley, where he was bowling just like Philander does. Now I had to do the dirty work and try and hit the guys on the head a few times and soften them up a bit, so they then decide, now hang on, who are you going to get the runs off, Richard or me? And I'm threatening them with a few shorter ones. But Richard was fantastic, and he bowled just the same as Philander.
Yeah. I remember we used to go to, when I was a lighty, we used to go to the Wanderers, and remember the season started with the Protea Challenge, you guys against Province. 30,000 people sitting, or however many they got into the Wanderers, packed for a friendly.
Absolutely.
What a game, and I used to just get the season going. And there was, I think it was a Nissan Final or a Datsun Shield or whatever they called it in those days. I think it was 50 overs, or it might even been 60 overs still in the from Gillette to Datsun. And there was a game. It was us. I was a Mean Machine Transvaal supporter. It was Transvaal against Natal. Bruce Groves was opening the batting. I remember he hit a 6 straight into the golf course at the Wanderers, where you remember. But literally, that 6 would have probably landed not on the 10th, Simon. It would have landed on the par 3 green. I think on the 17th or something. That's how big that 6 was. Barry Richards, I don't know if Barry played in the same game, but I remember a duel between you and Barry. Barry had knocked up about 70, but literally he was batting with his left arm.
With the side of his bat.
He was running down the track to you. And you started bowling it at his throat. It was one of the best contests I've ever seen in a cricket match, because you were going at each other. You were bowling from the golf course end. Yeah,
but Barry, he was my mentor as a batsman. And seriously, I haven't seen a better batsman. Graham Pollock was up there with him, but I like Barry's technique slightly more than I like Graham's technique. And Barry in the nets at Hampshire, he would turn his bat sideways and play the Hampshire bowlers with the side of his bat. And you just say, how embarrassing is that to the county bowlers that this is what he's doing?
Yeah.
But also with Vince van der Bijl, he said to Vince in a league game, and hit you round the clock. And he hit him in the over from third man all the way around to fine leg. And Vinny was a superb bowler. But that's the capabilities of Barry Richards.
Vinny was another one of those you put into that category, put in the right spot.
Correct.
Although he used his height, so he got a little bit of extra bounce, more bounce than some of the other guys like a Vernon Philander would, because he'd put in the right spot, but it would be coming up vertically at you as opposed to slightly more horizontal.
But when you just look at Vinny's track record, there he is, plenty of wickets every season, and that was the reason why. But he bowled a lot in the right place.
Where's he now?
Vince runs the umpires, the World Cricketing umpires for the ICC in Dubai.
Seriously?
That's what he does.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Get hold of him.
Yeah, we must get hold of him sometime. Johnny, make a note. Let's Skype Vince van der Bijl sometime next week on whatever the hell happened to you. That'll be an interest. I didn't even know he'd gone over there.
Yeah,
Hell of a nice guy. First class guy.
In fact, he was too nice as a bowler because he was a gentle giant, and that summed him up. Whereas some of us were quite mean in terms of what we were about, and didn't mind hitting the guys.
Well, especially when you had Rice at one end and then you had Jennings standing behind the sticks and Curry in the slips. I think a batsman had no chance. Yes, Simon.
I want to ask Clive, the IPL's just finished. Do you think, I lost interest in that tournament about less than halfway through it. Do you think that there's...
Albie says how's it, by the way?
No, it doesn't matter about that. No, but do you think that there's too much cricket on the go these days?
I think it's there is too much, because for exactly that reason you just say, you can't watch all the games. Nothing's a spectacle. To me, I just watched at the end there, and I watched the final. A lot of the run-up games to it, I didn't bother watching. But there's so much cricket. But you don't understand the mentality in India in terms of cricket. They will watch it 24 hours a day, every day of the week. And they're just absolutely fanatics about the game. And that's the nature of it. So here we might say there's too much because we want to watch rugby and soccer and other sports. They just want to watch cricket.
But you look at like a test series now, and when Australia come out here, or if we go over there, it's still pretty special. But it's lost a bit of that magic because of all the cricket that we watch these days.
Never.
I think so.
Never. Didn't you see the crowds?
No,
Where was it? England? Australia?
No, Australia and England get real good crowds for test matches. But elsewhere in the world, there's a bit of a problem.
But it's still you'll
No,
never
it's
ever
still
beat
fantastic. I'm
Test
not saying
cricket.
it's still fantastic cricket. It's not. Just say it's not I don't think it's as special as it once was. To have the Aussies come out here touring, I mean, now they come out here, they'll play T20s, they'll play one days, they'll play the Test. Then you'll see them playing with each other in the IPL. Then it's just lost that little bit of specialness.
But I think also the television stations, they need to fill their time. And what better way than getting a test match, 5 days, 6 hours in a day, that all that TV time is filled. They just can get the adverts going. And so it's a very good way of filling the TV time. But in terms of the spectators, as you say, I think it's too much. Because who was playing today, do you know?
Well,
England, West Indies.
Yeah. Well, besides that,
No, that
When
was
they got
called
going.
off, but there was Pakistan was playing against, I think, was Sri Lanka.
Yep.
And you say, what happened there? Well, John might know what happened because he's got to keep track of the scores.
John doesn't even know they were playing.
No, I do know.
But, for us, you don't have time to even think about
do you
what
care?
Yeah.
No, but...
no, I'm just.
some of the Sri Lankan batsmen I really enjoy watching play. But you just don't have time to sort of say, okay, I'm going to spend all this time watching because every day there's some game on.
Yeah.
And can I ask
Yes.
one more question?
Yes.
What do you think of Dave Richardson taking over from Harun Lorgath at the ICC?
Sounds like the whole of South Africa is running the ICC at the moment.
To me, I think that's brilliant because it just... Dave's a fantastic guy. Played in our... I played against him a lot of the time, and a few times he was playing in our South African team when I was playing. But having him in charge there, I think is a fantastic credit to South Africa that we've got a lot of our guys going in and running the ICC.
People forget that he probably brings a good legal brain to it all.
Oh yeah, no, they need it.
Well, Errol Stewart's there as well, isn't he?
No, I think he's packed. He's
has
packed
he
up.
come
now.
back?
He was doing sponsorships,
Oh,
but he's
okay.
now back here.
Well, he's also got a good legal brain as well. I think he was over there for a little while, but yeah.
I think in the ICC you are going to need good legal brains with everyone going to jail and the bribes and the corruption and stuff like that. It needs sorting out.
Yeah.
It's another story. All right.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on balls.co.za. Balls.co.za.